Hi, it's mystery author Ellie Alexander. I am so glad to have you with me for another 5 Things Friday. This week, I am chatting about NaNoWriMo. Are you going to write a book for National Novel Writing Month? Then stay tuned because I have 5 tips for you. I hope you're enjoying this Friday. It is officially November 1st, and this is the month that many people come together with their collective creative energy to write a novel for the first time, or maybe the 27th time, who knows. I have learned over the course of my own writing many tips and tricks that have helped me, and I want to share 5 of them with you today, especially if you're getting ready to dive in to writing a novel this month. And I hope you are. Everyone has a story to share, and you should write yours. All right, so let's get to it. Number 1, do not buy into the myth of writer's block. Professional writers write every day. That means we don't get writer's block. Do we have horrible days writing? Yes, of course. Are there days where the words do not come or the plan that I have in my head goes terribly wrong? Yes and yes. But writer's block is a myth. It's much like saying teacher's block or baker's block or doctor's block. If you're a teacher, you show up in the classroom every day. If you're a doctor, you show up in your office to see patients every day. If you're a baker, you show up in your kitchen and you bake beautiful things every day. Do you have baking fails? Yes. Do teachers have lesson plans that don't go according to plan? Yes, I have lots of teachers in my family and I know that's true. Same goes for doctors or whatever profession you're talking about. I hope that if you're writing a novel this month for NaNoWriMo, that if you learn nothing else, it's that the simple act of sitting down and making a concerted effort to write every day is going to get you a novel. A terrible first draft maybe, but nonetheless a novel, a manuscript, a starting point by the end of the month. And that's what professional writers do. I sit in my office chair and I write 2,000 words every day. And sometimes at the end of that 2,000 words, I'm excited about what I've created, and sometimes not so much. But nonetheless, I have hit my word count and I have written every single day. Number 2, create a writing ritual. This doesn't have to be elaborate, and it also doesn't have to be something that you do every time. The ritual should be something that fills you up with joy and centers you into a space. Maybe it's something as simple as lighting a candle. Maybe you create a playlist for your characters. For me, I take a walk every morning, and the act of getting outside and getting moving, I feel like physically gets my creative energy working. When I come back to my office, I have a ritual of having a cup of coffee. I like something warm in my hand when I start to write, especially for the Bake Shop mysteries. Rituals are just a way of centering ourselves in time and space and setting a tone and kind of also creating a reminder for our brain that this is our time to write. And that simple act can be so powerful, I think, because every time I sit in my office, I open my laptop, I have my cup of coffee, I hit my Jules playlist, I know that I'm going to immerse myself into my character's world. Number 3, find champions. In this process, while you are in the dregs of trying to write a novel in 1 month, you need to find champions who are going to support you in that process. Now, champions are slightly different than cheerleaders. I'm not dissing on cheerleaders. I was a cheerleader back in the day. I know that's probably shocking, but champions are different in that they're going to support your work. They are going to cheer you on, but they're also going to help strengthen your work. So champions in your life can be your partners, your family, your friends, who maybe you have a few people like that who you can call up or text or send an email and say, oh my gosh, I'm struggling through my word count right now. Give me a little pep talk. That's one way to use a champion. You can also use champions in finding writing partners, people who are going to give you constructive feedback about your work to make it stronger. And you can reciprocate and do the same thing for other writers. I think that is such a collective gift because I learn as much when I'm giving feedback to someone else as I do when I'm receiving that feedback. Great places to find writing partners are at your local library, through different writing organizations, even online. Make sure that you find champions who are going to lift you up in that process and not tear you down, though. Number 4, celebrate your successes. Writing a novel in a month is hard work. You have to make the commitment to sit your derriere in your chair or on your couch or wherever you're going to write every day and knock out that word count. And so at the end of the day, when you've hit that word count, treat yourself with some small success. Maybe you've saved your favorite TV show, so go ahead and binge 3 episodes once you've hit your word count, or give yourself a tiny little piece of chocolate or a new pencil, whatever it is. Find little ways to celebrate your successes, whether that is writing every day for 7 days, or hitting 10,000 words, or hitting the halfway point of a manuscript. Take time to recognize your effort and reward yourself for slogging through this month. Number 5, and I think this is by far the most important piece of writing advice that I can or ever will give, and that is to trust your instincts. There is so much noise out there. There are a lot of people and books and articles that are going to tell you that there's only one way to write a manuscript and that way is the best way. And frankly, that's just not true. Trust what works for you, and you're going to figure that out as this month goes on. For me, I just delivered my 26th book, and what worked for book 1 sometimes works again for book 12 or 18, and sometimes I have to shake it up. And I've learned over the process of writing so many books to trust that instinct internally, to trust my voice, to trust the process, and not to let the noise or something that I read that tells me, no, I should only write 500 words a day, or I should write in the evening with a glass of wine, or whatever it is. I've learned what works for me, and in this month, you are going to learn what works for you. And once you find that sweet spot, stick to it and don't let the noise get into your head and steer you off course. I am so excited that you are diving in to writing a novel this month, and I am definitely a champion of everyone sharing their story. I hope that these 5 tips will help you as you go through National Novel Writing Month. I would love to hear what other tips and tricks have worked for other writers. I do think for me, one of the things that I've learned over the years is I take little nuggets of things and I make them my own. So you can do the same thing. As always, thanks for joining me for another episode of 5 Things Friday. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and click the bell to get notified whenever I share new videos. Happy writing!